Hi everyone, Sean Humphreys here. Welcome to this edition of the Take Charge of Change podcast. In this edition of the podcast, we're going to talk about 5 principles that will supercharge and boost your productivity. You'll enjoy this edition of the podcast. Okay, what are these 5 principles, 5 strategies, ideas that will boost your productivity? First of all, let's talk about why boosting productivity is so incredibly important. I'm not going to give you all the reasons, but probably the most important one is it's not just about you. You want to boost productivity, obviously, to meet your professional goals, but you want to be efficient, so you don't have to spend more time working professionally than you need to because you've got your intimate relationships, you may have your children, you have your community. You want to spend time doing those things as well. So enhancing productivity is a great way of being able to achieve your professional goals while at the same time being engaged and involved in those other things of life. So, principle number 1, get enough sleep. Simple, straightforward, right? But so many people out there, and you may be one of them, struggling with sleep. So, a few things, and we'll probably talk about sleep in more detail than the other ideas, but the first thing is make sure that your room is dark. Make sure extraneous light is out of the room. If you have to invest in some blackout blinds, make sure you do that. So extraneous light really wrecks your sleep. Number 2, refrain from technology use at least 2 hours before you sleep. So that's your iPhone, your iPad, your computer. If you need to be engaged in the technology, then make sure you invest in eyewear, glasses, technology that will block out the blue light rays, because those light rays will really wreck your circadian rhythm. Refrain from alcohol before you go to bed. You know, if you use drinking as a way of winding down, yeah, it might relax you a little bit, but you're going to be looking at the ceiling in the middle of the night at 2 o'clock in the morning. So make sure that you are attentive to that area. Relaxation rituals, whether it's a warm bath, some relaxing reading. Don't watch the news. That's the worst thing you could be doing before you go to bed. So focus on some rituals that are really relaxing, that will just wind you down before you go to bed, and that'll help out. And believe it or not, focusing on your goal weight is really important. A lot of people struggle with their sleep because of excess weight. I know that's a controversial area. Many people struggle with that, but that's why your wellness and fitness routines are so important. They percolate back into your nighttime rituals, and again, sleep is so vitally important to your productivity that you really want to dial into that area. Strategy number 2, become aware of your energy cycles or levels throughout the day. So some of you, you're a morning person, some of you are night people, and so be attentive to that cycle of your energy through the day and plan those really important projects that will boost productivity in periods of the day when you're most energetic. Number 3, practice the idea of bookending at the beginning of the day and the latter stages of the day. You know, Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher, ruled the Holy Roman Empire for a number of years, I think 17 years, really took seriously as sort of a productivity, wellness focusing ritual was the idea, and the Stoics were really big on this, is that at the end of every day, spend some time in reflection on what went well, what didn't go so well, what could you learn through the day. Spend some time focused on writing down the things you needed to get done through the day, this next day. Who are you meeting? Who will you be talking to? Let your subconscious mind sort of ruminate around those things, and that'll help your next day be more productive. So you're unpacking the lessons of the day. When you get up in the morning, review that list, begin planning out your day, planning out your priorities. We've all heard about those things, but so often we go crashing into our day because we have slept in or haven't focused in on it. We get to the office, we get into our professional environment, and we're really not clear on our priorities. So make sure that you get engaged in the idea of bookending. Number 4, strategy 4 is about diet. Again, we hear these things, and by the way, I'm going to step back a little bit. You got to be clear on your vision and your purpose and your values. Those things are really important to focus you back on these productivity drivers, because you're not going to care about this stuff unless you have a powerful why. So diet, ideally if you want productivity gains, focus on a low carbohydrate diet as much as possible. And so that'll moderate your blood sugar. You won't have swinging blood sugar and highs and lows in your energy level. And it's been shown that a low carbohydrate diet allows you to be more focused cognitively and more even-keeled from a mental state standpoint. As part of that, you may want to consider intermittent fasting. A great intermittent fasting routine is a 16-8, so you have an 8-hour eating window and then a 16-hour fast. Intermittent fasting is great because on this protocol, your eating window might be from noon until around 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening, and then you begin your fast, which goes through your sleeping period. So half your fast, you're sleeping. And so when you get up, you don't eat anything until, again, you hit the noon period. There's lots of great information on fasting protocols. And again, intermittent fasting, what you'll tend to find is, again, a much more cognitive focus, clarity of mind, and you should experiment with it to see whether that enhances your productivity. And then strategy number 5, make sure that you block your focus time. Practice the art of focusing and concentration. We live in a culture now in a time when there's a lot of distraction, a lot of inattentiveness, right? We're, a mile wide and 1 centimeter deep. So make sure you block off your calendar, turn off the reminders, turn off the alerts, do a deep dive into focusing and concentration time to get the projects done that you want to get done. And work to increase your concentration and focusing muscles. Extremely important to get that right. You want to block off and chunk off time to get the important projects and productivity ideas looked after in your schedule so you can get those enhancements that you want. Well, I hope you found those reminders helpful. Take Charge of Change, we've got the Resilient Professional ebook. Some of the strategies we've talked about are outlined in a lot of detail around how do you build professional resiliency into your life. So make sure you download that book. As well, we produce customized training for organizations. If you'd like to develop a training protocol for your teams, your staff, your senior managers to enhance productivity and performance, we'd love to start a conversation. Reach out to us and we can brainstorm some ideas about how we can enhance productivity and resilience in your organization over the next year. So be resilient. You take care.